matrix values are 3, 4, 3. So 3 is my least value and the next least value also 3. 3 minus 3 is 0. This method is preferred by northwest corner method and least cost method because except this supply and demand you can consider this matrix value. No need to consider this supply value and demand value for finding the row difference and column difference. So first step is, again we have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced because the initial basic feasible solution is obtained by this method. Hello everyone, welcome back to my new session. I am Shweta, Computer Science Faculty, Vidhyaashram First Grade College, Mysuru. In my last session, I have discussed about least cost method, balanced and unbalanced problem. So today I will discuss another method called Vogel'S Approximation method called as VAM method, or also we can call it as it's a penalty method. VAM method is also called as penalty method. What is this VAM? Vogel'S Approximation method. It is one of the type of transportation problem. Here also we can find the optimal solution. It is a method for finding the initial basic feasible solution. This method is preferred by northwest corner method and least cost method because the initial basic feasible solution is obtained by this method by either its optimal solution or it's nearer to the optimal solution. So compared to the least cost method and northwest corner method, this is the best method for finding the optimal solution. Vogel's approximation method is called as VAM method. So is one of the method to obtain feasible solution of transportation problem and is a technique for finding a good initial feasible solution. So compared to northwest corner method and least cost method, this Vogel's approximation method is the best method compared to these two methods. So VAM method is the best method for finding the initial basic feasible solution. So what are the steps we have to use for finding the initial basic feasible solution in VAM method? So first step, balance the given transportation problem if either total supply is greater than total demand or total supply is less than total demand. So first step is, again we have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. So already I have discussed in my previous sessions, right? Whether it is balanced means we can proceed further. If it is unbalanced, we have to add dummy row and dummy column according to the requirements. And the next step, determine the penalty cost for each row and column. So here we have to find the row difference and column difference. For finding the penalty, we have to find the row difference and column difference by subtracting the lowest cell cost in the row or column from the next lowest level. By subtracting the lowest cell cost. So example, if you get 3 rows and 4 columns. So how to find the column difference and row difference? So for finding the row difference and column difference, you have to select, example, we have 3, 2 and 5. We have to select the least 2 values, first least value and second least value. Then we can subtract this least values. So 3 and 2, difference is 1. And example, so here for finding the column difference, we have to check the column values 3, 4, 6, 2. So first 2 least values are 3 and 2. Again you will get 3 minus 2 is 1. So and again you have to find the second row difference. Again you have to find the third column difference. So like this we can find the column difference and row difference. That is the second step. And select the row or column with the highest penalty cost. So example, if you get 1, 2, 3 here. Example, if you get 2, 3, 4. So here you have to find the highest penalty cost. So out of this column difference and row difference, highest penalty cost is 4. So I can select this column. For finding the Vogel's approximation method, we have to find the highest penalty cost. So, in this column, I can select the least value. For allocating the cells, I can select this as a least value. And the next step, allocate as much as possible to the least feasible cell with the lowest transportation cost in the row column with the highest penalty cost. So like this, we have to find the row difference and column difference. Out of that, we can select the highest penalty cost, and in this penalty cost, I can select this my column. So least value I can choose. So least value is 2. So I can proceed further. And repeat step 2, 3 and 4 until all requirements have been met. And last step is compute total transportation cost for the feasible allocations. Finally, we can find the total transportation cost. So this is your steps. So this is your algorithm for VAM method. Let us understand with an example step by step. So first you have to check whether it is a balanced or unbalanced. So supply value is 40, 60, 100 and 70, 170, and 70, 40 is 110 plus 60 is 170. So it is a balanced problem. It is a balanced problem. Next I can move further. So what is the next step? So here in northwest corner method, we have to select the north cell, and in least cost method, we can select the least value. Out of these cells, we can select the least value. In northwest method, we can select the north corner cell for finding the basic feasible solution. First, I will find the first row difference. I will consider this row. S1 is my first row. So which is the least value out of this? So except this supply value and demand value, you can consider this matrix value. Out of these 3 values, least value is 1 and the next least value is 4. So 4 minus 1 is 3. And second row, least value is 3. We have 2 numbers and the next value is 4. So 4 minus 3 is 1. And the next row is S3. Least value is 2 and the next least value is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. And I have completed all the 3 rows. Now I will find column difference. So first column is D1. Least value is 3. 4 minus 3. So next least value is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. And the second column is D2. Least value is 2. Next least value is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. Here least value is 1. The next least value is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. So out of this row value and column values, you have to find the highest penalty cost. You just find the values here 1, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4. Highest value is 4. So this is my penalty cost. Now I will consider this row. S3 is the highest penalty cost. So out of these row values, least value is again 2. So 2 is my least value. I will consider this is my least value. You just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 40 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. 70 minus 40 is 30. If it is 0, I can cancel this entire column also. Now, you can cancel this D2 column because if it is 0 means you can cancel this. Again, no need to consider this column for finding the column difference. You can skip this column. And next find out for D1 and D3. Again, least value is 3 and the next least value is 4. Again, we'll get 1. 4 minus 3. And the next column is D3. Least value is 1. The next least value is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. And now I will find for row difference. Here I will consider the first row except this value. So least value is 1. The next least value is 4. 4 minus 1 is just 3. And the second row is S2. 3 minus 3 is 0. And 60 minus 70. and 70 minus 60 is, it is 10. So now you can find the highest penalty cost. So obviously it is 10. So 10 is your highest penalty cost. And the next row is S3. Least value is 6 and the next least value is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2. Now find the highest penalty cost. In row difference, we have 3, 0, 2. Column difference 1, 2. So highest penalty cost is 3. So I will consider this row. I will consider this row because it has highest penalty cost. So out of these two variables, which is the least value? Least value is 1. You just take the supply value with demand value. Demand value is higher than supply value. I will allocate 40 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. 0 means I can cancel this entire row. So 60 minus 40 is 20. Now here all the values are 0 means I can cancel this row. So no need to consider for next step. One column also cancelled, one row also cancelled. So except this, you can consider these 4 values. Now I will find the column difference again. 6 minus 3 is 3 and cancel this column, and 8 minus 3 is 5 and row difference. So I will consider this as a least value. 3 minus 3 is a 0. 8 minus 6 is 2. Now you can find the highest penalty value. It is 5. Highest penalty value is 5. So 5 comes under D3 column. So out of these two values, you can consider the least value in D3. So least value is 3. You just take the supply value with demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will consider 20 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. 0 means you can cancel this entire column also cancelled. So 60 minus 20 is 40. So now we have only one column. So at last if you get any 2 digits, so directly you can proceed, because out of these 2 digits we can consider which is the least value and which is the highest value. So least value is 3 only. You just check the demand value with supply value. Supply value is lesser than demand value. I will allocate 50 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. I can cancel this row. So 70 minus 40 is 30. And the last digit is 6. 30 and 30. So it is perfectly right. If you get 1 digit, all the supply value should be equal to demand value. So now I will allocate 30 rupees to this cell. It will become 0 and it will become 0. Now all the cancellation has done. So for finding the row difference and column difference, easily we can cancel the variables. We can find the allocated cells. So which is allocated cells now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So m plus n minus 1. Number of rows 3 plus number of columns 3. 3 plus 3 is 6 minus 1 is 5. You just cross verify the allocated cell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it has non-degenerate solution. So now you can find the transportation cost. So 1 into 40 plus 3 into 40 plus 3 into 20 plus 6 into 30 plus 2 into 40. So what is the transportation cost? Your total transportation cost is 480 rupees. This is your BAM method called Vogel's approximation. It is also called as penalty method. And the next problem is we have 3 rows and 4 columns and supply and demand. So what is the first step? We have to find whether it is balanced or unbalanced. 400, 300 and 500. It is 700 plus 500 is 1200 and 600, and in demand 250, 350, 600, 400 is 1000, 1200. So it is balanced problem. It is a balanced problem. You can proceed now. So what is the first step? We have to find row difference and column difference. So row difference and column difference. So first I will consider the first row and first column. So first row is, so this is your first row. Here least value is 1 and the next least value is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. Except this supply and demand, you can consider this matrix value. No need to consider this supply value and demand value for finding the row difference and column difference. And the next row, least value is 2 and the next least value is 5. 5 minus 2 is 3. And the next row, least value is 2 and the next least value is 3. 3 minus 2 is 1. Row difference has completed and find the column difference. So first column is A, least value is 2, the next least value is 3, 3 minus 2 is 1. And the next column is B, least value is 1, the next least value 3, 3 minus 1 is 2. Next least value in column C, 3 is the least value, the next least value is 5, 5 minus 3 is 2. And column 4, least value is 2, the next least value is 4, 4 minus 2 is 2. So now you can find the highest penalty cost out of this row difference and column difference. Out of this, 3 is the highest penalty cost. So I will consider this row. So I will consider this second row has a highest penalty cost. So out of these values, which is the least value? 2 is the least value. Just consider the supply value and demand value here. Supply value is 400, demand value is 250. So least value is 250. I will allocate 250 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. I can cancel this entire column. 400 minus 250 is 150. So after this cancellation, no need to find for column difference to this column. Next column is column B. Again, it is least value is 1. The next least value is 3. 3 minus 1, 2. Again, 5 minus 3 is 2. Again, 4 minus 2 is 2. And column difference is done. And the next row difference. So first row, 4 and 1 is the least value. 4 minus 1 is 3. And the next row is 5 and 6. It is 1. 3 and 2. It is 1. And the next highest penalty cost is again 3. So I will consider this row. Out of these variable values, least value is 1. And the supply value is 300. The demand value is 350. 300 is a lesser value. I will allocate 300 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this entire row. So 350 minus 300 is 50. So now it's cancelled. And the next remaining 2 rows, again 6 minus 5 is 1. Again 3 minus 2 is 1. And the next column we have 6 minus 3, it is 3. 5 minus 3, it is 2. 9 minus 2, it is 7. So here out of this, find the highest penalty cost. It is 7. 7 is my highest penalty cost. I will consider this row. 7 is my highest penalty cost. I will consider this column. In this column, least value is 2. I will take this as a least cell. So out of this, you just check the supply value and demand value. Demand value is lesser than supply value. I will allocate 200 rupees to this cell. It will become 0. And 500 minus 200 is 300. And if it is 0 means I can cancel this entire column. And the next remaining rows and columns, 6 minus 5. 6 minus 5 is 1. Again 3 minus 3 is 0. And for next column difference, I will write it here. 6 minus 3 is 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So out of this, the next highest penalty cost is 3. So I will consider this column. In this column, least value is 3. You just consider the demand value and supply value. Supply value is higher than the demand value. So I will allocate 50 rupees to this cell. will become 0. If it is 0 means you can cancel this column. So 300 minus 50 is 250. And the last digit is 5 and 3. So least value is 3 only. So supply value is 250, demand value is 400. So 250 is a lesser value. I will allocate 250 rupees to this cell. Will become 0. I can cancel this entire row. And the last digit is 5. So 5 is my last digit. You just take the supply value and demand value. Both the values should be same. So 150 and 150. I will allocate 150 rupees to this cell. Will become 0. Will become 0. All the cancellation has done. So what is the next step? Finding the transportation cost. Just write all the allocated cell values. 1 into 300 plus 2 into 250 plus 5 into 150 plus 3 into 50 plus 3 into 250 plus 2 into 200. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allocated cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 allocated cells for finding the feasible solution. So total transportation cost is 2,850 rupees. So this is your total transportation cost to this problem. So this is called VAM method or penalty method, Vogel's approximation method. So it will give the best solution compared to northwest corner and least cost method. The last problem is we have 4 columns and 3 rows. So what is the first step? First we have to check whether it is balanced or unbalanced. If it is balanced, you can proceed. So here you have to find the row difference and column difference. First find row difference and column difference. So how will you find the row difference and column difference? You just consider 2 least values. So first least value is 2, second least value is 3. 3 minus 2 is, you will get 1. So 1 minus 0 is again 1. So like that you can find the row difference and column difference for finding the transportation cost. So after that you just consider out of this you have to find the highest penalty cost. So if you get highest penalty cost in row and column, so you can consider that row has the least value. You just consider the least value, then you can find the allocated cell values. So this is your assignment question. Please practice this question. So this is about your Vogel's approximation balanced problem. So in my next session, I will discuss unbalanced problems on Vogel's approximation method. Thank you.